I'm going to walk you through a level K text, and I'm going to show you the differences right away. Though I do want to mention this is a level K text from, of course, the Fountas and Pinnell system, and this is number 115, I believe. Let me scroll down to the end. This is the green system, yep, and it is book 115. So, okay, let's look right at the differences in a level K text. Some of the things you'll notice is that the sentences at a level K are going to start to get a little bit longer. Certainly not all of the sentences will be long, but it is possible at this level to have sentences that are more than 15 words. There's not a ton in this particular story, but this sentence right here, Lily sat and watched the river in the yard and saw a duck go floating by. That's just over 15 words. So that's something you're going to start to see at a level K. I'm going to just let you know this book is about a skunk family that lives near a river in a house that's on stilts, and eventually the house gets flooded from some heavy rainfall. So something you could see at a level K is the setting of the book might not be typical of a child's experience. So the fact that this is in a house on stilts is not very common and would probably have to be a conversation with the child prior to teaching this book or during this book, just pointing out what stilts are and why a house would be on stilts. So having a setting that's not common for a child's experience would start to happen around this level. You also would have some content that might require some prior knowledge. So I mentioned that this book is about flooding, and certainly if a child doesn't know what flooding is, this book would be a little bit more confusing. Now, there are great illustrations that a child would be able to use to help figure out what flooding is, but it would be beneficial if a child has some prior knowledge on what happens when there's a heavy rainfall. Where does that water go? Why do sometimes houses flood? Why don't they flood? Where should the water go? Where houses might be more likely to flood, in what location near a river, as in this book, or near a lake or something. So all of that would give, if the child had that information before reading this, it's just going to give them an ease at reading and an ease at understanding this. So at a level K, you could also start to see some new vocabulary. You're not going to see a ton. You don't want to overwhelm a child with too much new vocabulary. But in this book, I think one of the words that would probably be new, I had mentioned stilts would certainly be one. But here it is. It says in this sentence, she and her three little kits scooped up the water and threw it out the door and the windows. So the word kit, as in this book, refers to small furry animals, little skunks, would be a new use of the word kit. So stilts and kit, probably the two new words in this book that a child wouldn't have known prior to reading this. And at a level K, you also might get some new words that are a little bit harder to decode. On this page right here, the word cocoa might be a little bit harder for a child to read because they would want to pronounce that A at the end and say cocoa. So you'll start to see words like that at a level K, but there are still plenty of high frequency words, plenty of dialogue among characters, illustrations that are easy to understand and support what's happening in the story. And although this book is about flooding, it's still a very lighthearted story. You can see the little skunk at the end is very happy. So at a level K, the stories are still going to be lighthearted. They're not going to get into anything that's too heavy for a reader quite yet. So that is a level K book.